Chris Beyer.
Chris Bowling.
Brad Johnson here.
Hey, Brad.
How we doing?
Brad, you've got something in your teeth. You should probably see a dentist, just so you know.
Really?
Yeah, check that out. But on the topic of dental care, let's pivot.
Yeah.
Now I'm wondering if you just
Everyone's like,
if there truly is something in my teeth,
yeah.
No, I'm just
or
giving you
just
grief.
just a clever intro. Well,
Intro, yes.
okay, very good. Because I always struggle with like how to kick it off with humor. So I was gonna say we need to concentrate, but now instead of concentrating on medical, let's pivot to dental and vision.
Man,
You
Yes,
do that? Okay.
we
favorite.
can do it.
So bad play on words, market concentration, another way of saying kind of lack of competitiveness, right? We
Yeah.
we talked about it a lot in the healthcare space. There's only a few handful of health insurance carriers, but similarly on dental and vision. So an interesting accountability office report came out, and they looked at really the domination of just a few carriers. And so I thought I'd take the data, boil it down to kind of our headquarters market, if you will, Iowa, Illinois.
Yes.
And so in Iowa, who do you think takes the crown on dental? Like if you had
Delta.
buyer you too?
Oh, all day. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, that's the
Yeah,
one.
nailed it. 74% of the market. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
That's
74%.
crazy.
They do a good job, so no ill towards that, but that's a pretty big market share. Now, if we go across the river into Illinois, the little helpful hint here is a different carrier.
No, I was going to say Delta as well. I mean, that
Right.
seems to be, it has dental in the name, so
Right.
I was kind of surprised by this too, but the survey said Blue Cross of Illinois
interesting.
at only about 20%. So
Yeah.
big disparity. Iowa
Yeah.
totally dominated by Delta. I've got to believe Delta's pretty close to that in Illinois.
You
So
know,
that
they
was
give
the side.
they give such a decent medical credit if you take their dental and vision. That's probably, I mean, if you just
Yeah.
look at Blue Cross has the market share in the state of Illinois, and it's a nice credit. So I think just people default and be like, sure, yep, give me the Blue Cross one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
combined
that's a good
bill.
point.
Yeah, good thinking. And I think to that point too, now if we switch to vision on the Iowa side, I was actually a little surprised by this. It was Fidelity Security, otherwise known as IMED.
Ah,
It
okay.
marketed,
Okay.
private
Yes.
labeled a lot. But bowling to your point, I know Delta Dental of Iowa on the dental side that has 74% dental market share. They also market essentially an IMED product.
Yeah.
My facts are straight. I think that's accurate. So IMED in Iowa has 38% vision market
Oh,
share. And it doesn't, tag
Wow.
the Delta or
yeah.
just direct or whatever. But on the Illinois side, it was VSP at about 47%. And that seems to
Yeah.
track.
So which
I would
which
say,
which one I always get them confused. Which one is more big box and which one's more big box and you get the independence? Is that IMED picks up more independence or is it VSP?
VSP historically has, but what's
Okay.
interesting now
yeah,
they've rolled out, like Costco and Sam's
Yeah.
and others too.
right.
And I think they're both trying to play in both sandboxes.
Okay.
It's so funny though, you can switch a health insurance carrier and you're going to expect a fair amount of quote unquote noise. I tell you, you have about the same amount of noise switching vision
You do.
providers because
Huge.
none of
Yes.
those networks overlap. At least on the medical side,
Right.
generally speaking, you probably have
Yeah.
80, 90% overlap.
Right.
Not so on vision.
I
So,
Yeah. Especially in the Quad City market, there's some very big vision groups that are not in one and are in the other. That's a big concern.
yeah.
yep. And a plug for our client eye surgeons, great provider in one, not the other. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that does make a difference.
Yeah, I
So,
noticed
yeah,
our new vision insurance does not have your wonderful client in it.
really.
Yeah.
I didn't even take it. I'm on my wife's. Pays to
No,
Fourth
shop
I
client.
around.
yeah, I go there and I downloaded my vision benefit and I'm like, well, crap, I gotta do something different.
You gotta get your $20 back reimbursed in a paper check 4 weeks later.
Good point. Good point.
That's what I have for you today.
All right.
No, it's interesting to know.
Did I get the stuff out of my teeth, Byron?
Yeah, you're good now. You don't need to go to the dentist. Beautiful, pearly whites. So
Okay.
thanks, Brad.
Just don't zoom in on the cameras.
No, we won't. We won't.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
See you
We'll
next
see ya.
time.